Now then, it's Burnsy, and welcome to our regular Curiosity podcast, the CuriosityCast. Every episode, we take questions asked by members of the public in Hull and try to get them the best answers from the very best brains in the city. Not all questions are about Hull, they can be about whatever you want to discover. For this episode, we've invited in the man behind the wonderful Heritage Open Days, which returned to the city from the 12th to the 21st of September. Dozens of amazing buildings across Hull and beyond throw open the doors and welcome visitors. There are all sorts of stuff. You can walk the walk and talk the talk. There's walks and talks and everything like that, about all sorts of stuff. So let's find out all about it on the Curiosity Cast with a man behind it, and the chair of Hull Civic Society, John Netherwood. Nice to see you, John. Welcome along to the Curiosity Cast.
Thank you.
Give us the big picture about the Heritage Open Days. How long have they been going?
It's been going about 35 years. Used to be organised by English Heritage. Then after the financial crisis, National Trust took it over. But it was invented in Europe, in Brussels of all places, as a European Festival of Heritage. So for the last nearly 15 years, National Trust actually have been running it in this country. And we've been doing it in Hull going back 40 years for the Civic Society, but we picked it up as a National Trust or Heritage Open Days, as it's properly called, about 14 years ago.
So it must be hugely successful, the fact that it's continued going, and I'm rifling through very glossy and informative brochure and everything like that, which we'll come to. But do you get thousands of people coming out and partake?
Well, we reckon there's about 12,000 decide to join in one thing or another, go visit an open building, go to a talk, go on a guided walk. And we usually produce about 8,000 brochures. This year it's a bit less, but times are hard financially.
Right.
But there's plenty of brochures to go around.
Right, okay. And is all this free, or do people have to pay for it to enjoy?
No, National Trust, the HODS team as it's called, are emphatic that it should be free of charge, everything. So nobody can charge entry at the door.
So just to remind you, it's happening the 12th to the 21st of September. That distant voice there is producer Dave Lee, the man, the genius behind Curiosity.
I'm knocked out, but I've only just got my hands on the brochures. Some amazing stuff in there.
It's very impressive. We'll come to the questions that we've got. I'm going to go to pages 48 and 49, John. Don't worry about it. I mean, these are Talk of the Town, the talks programme, and there looks to be lots of talks going on. I'm fascinated by Captain Wilson's scandalous life.
Yes,
who was Captain Wilson, and what did he do that was scandalous?
Is that Wilson of the Wilson line?
Wilson line. I think, I want to know this, but it is. We had a very good article last year about the
on the big house out in Angleby, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes, and the interesting thing I found last year is that Thomas Ferrans, the great benefactor of this city, built an almost identical house.
I've never seen the house before until I saw it in the brochure. It's fantastic,
yes,
isn't it?
This is Tranby Croft, where the scandal happened.
Yes.
That was Wilson.
Yes.
But Ferrans up Holderness, is it Holderness or Headon Road? Holderness Road, isn't it?
Holderness Road, yes.
Almost identical house to the one Tranby Croft, and it's
a big tower. It's the style of the period.
Right.
With the big
but
tower.
Anyway, there is a talk going on about the scandalous life. There's royalty involved, and I'll give no more away in case you don't know. But it's happening Saturday, the 13th of September, at Wrecking Ball Arts Centre down Whiteford.
Yes, it is, and we have what is now about 30 talks each year. Most of which are done at Wrecking Ball.
So that's happening. And the other one, because it's just the way my mind works, Curious Incidents in Bridlington by Carol Oxford.
Oh, yeah, well, Carol's a bit odd. I can say that because she won't mind.
I hope you've got a good lawyer.
Oh, indeed. Why she's odd is that she doesn't talk about things that you just expect about, famous architects or somebody. She wheedles out interesting little bits about the Vicar of Hornsey and makes a really interesting 3/4 of an hour talk.
Is this all legally? It's all been checked by solicitors. She's not said anything she shouldn't.
Oh, not at all. No, it's all. All pucker.
It's not just gossip.
All right. Oh dear.
No, because I've made stuff about the Vicar of Anstey.
Have you really?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you later.
Word travels, doesn't it?
The one I really want to see, because I love it, is I think it's on at Ferrens, the thing about Cuthbert Broderick, who was, I think, were much undersung in Hull, really.
Well, I think so. And in particular, of course, he designed, when he was about 29, Leeds Town Hall. You can't believe it. I mean, you think Leeds Town Hall is equivalent to a major European cathedral, really, and it's
impressive outside, but the inside is spectacular, isn't it? It's
do you know
amazing.
something?
Go on.
I went to school in Leeds, and every year we had our speech day in Leeds Town Hall.
Yeah.
So
it's
excuse my ignorance, and
Cuthbert Broderick was a Victorian architect from Hull. Ploughed his trade in Hull. Did a few buildings in Driffield, I think, as well as when he was a young man. Built Hull, the first Hull Town Hall, the cupola of which is still in Pearson Park, of course, when they're not that old.
And the pink marble pillars at the door are laid in the grass near the Triton pub.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
In Brantingham?
Yeah, Brantingham, and you can see them.
Oh, well, and then he went on to build... I've got a mate in Leeds, and I love winding him up and saying, what's it like having the best buildings in Leeds were designed by somebody from Hull? Because he did the Town Hall, he did the Corn Exchange.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. And his final big building, I believe his final big building, was the Grand Hotel in Scarborough.
Well, totally, and that, when it was opened, it was the biggest hotel in Europe.
Yeah.
It's got over 1 million bricks in it, apparently.
And I was just explaining today of a calendar building.
There's a look from John Netherwood that suggests what's a calendar building.
John, excuse me, can I just enjoy the moment?
Am
I telling somebody of John Netherwood's statue or something
Sucking
he doesn't know?
seems to be the right thing to say.
It's nothing to do with the ITV programme, is it? The news programme.
I'm going to edit a fanfare or a drum roll in here. Calendar building. So it's got 4 towers for the seasons. It's got 12 floors for the months and 365 rooms.
Oh, I see, really?
It's a calendar building, yeah.
Maybe you should be giving this talk.
John, if you're ever thinking of retiring, I'll take over your job.
Be careful what you wish for.
So
you might regret it.
So this is...
I'm punching the air. I can't believe I've done that.
I'll give this one a plug, given you've mentioned it.
Cool.
Clever Dick. The scandalous life story of Cuthbert Broderick, Hull's greatest Victorian architect, by Dennis Chapman, which is happening Thursday, the 18th of September, 11:15 a.m. in the studio of Ferrens Art Gallery.
I'm interested
Queen
because
Victoria Square.
I didn't know his life was scandalous, so that's really interesting. I'd love to know what the scandal is.
It doesn't say why.
Oh, God, I love a bit of Victorian gossip.
And scandal.
It'll be something to do with the legs of furniture.
This is the funny thing is, they weren't quite as prudish as we've all thought, covering up the legs of the chairs and the
apparently, and you'll correct me again, John, apparently they became a lot more prudish after the trial of Oscar Wilde. That was one of the things that led to that prudish. Yeah, apparently so, yeah.
More and more you prove the point that you should take over.
I accept the invitation.
It's educational, the CuriosityCast.
John, just off mic. What's the pay? Is it paying?
Yeah.
I think that's the money.
It cost us 2,000 about 3 years ago.
Oh, God.
It's very different.
I'm going to be a bit busy, John.
Another story.
You'll have to carry on.
Yeah, do that.
We shall get to some of the public questions coming in. Can I just go back, because it caught my eye, curious incidents in Bridlington. There are mentions of Lawrence of Arabia and Mickey Mouse, presumably not at the same time, but you can find out more. This is the CuriosityCast. I'll give you a plug as to how you get in touch and everything like that. Rachel in HU9 on Headon Road says, how have you managed to organise a tour of Hull Prison? Aren't you worried it'll be used as a front for an elaborate escape attempt? Or somebody goes in to say, oi, that's the geezer that nicked me big widescreen telly, I'm having him. The Headon Road Hilton, as it's known. So is this a tour actually inside the prison?
No, it's not. And in fact, they go to some length, and indeed in the brochure it should say, this is... Sorry?
It's John's wife's Christine's chipping in, we should explain.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm the person who went to the prison.
Right, so you can't go in the prison. Well, you can't hear Christine either.
What they've got, is the Governor's House, which is a fine square red brick building right on the front of the prison itself.
Yeah.
And in there they've got an exhibition of all sorts of interesting and gruesome things, like the hangman's noose and a letter from, what was she called, the last lady to be hung?
Oh, yeah. Will come to me.
Yeah.
Ruth
Ellis, that's the fellow, yeah. And it's a very interesting place to go.
I've seen the bullet holes in the pub where she shot her.
Have you?
Yeah, the Magdala in Hampstead.
Oh, really?
He's still got these green tiles out front, and it's still got the bullet holes where she shot and missed him. I think.
So they got the evidence.
She hit him with a rebound.
Really?
Yeah, it bounced off the wall and hit him and killed him. She actually missed. It's true. I'm really sorry. The bullet holes are still in the tiles.
I suppose she still fired it then, even if it rebounded.
Yeah, it's intent in it. Yeah, it's going to be a bit late to retry it now, if we're honest.
Well, especially,
so that is happening. You can go and find out all about Hull Prison and see various gruesome things. It's a good job this podcast it's not on video, isn't it? It's just audio only. We should say, I should give this a plug because it's very impressive. The magazine is the Heritage Open Days in Hull magazine. Where do people get it, John?
All over the place, really. We've just delivered 600 to the pod in the station.
All right, excellent.
And a similar number to the Central Library. Oh, this is here, isn't it? We're in the Central Library.
Yeah.
We are.
And
Guildhall have got a few, I think.
Guildhall have got a couple of hundred, yes. And we take them to our sponsor companies, like we delivered some to Rolletts this morning and Wykeland. So the people who chip a bit of money in to help to pay for the brochure. This year we've printed 4,000.
So lovely. I mean,
get one while you can.
Even if you don't go on in the open days, just the magazine itself.
Well, lots of people think,
it's
they say
wonderful.
That, yeah, and we put a lot of effort into what really is about the first half of the brochure, which is all these articles.
I skipped through it yesterday and learned 3 things I didn't know. It's brilliant.
Did you? Yeah. This is a really interesting one about the whale fishery, I think it's called here. And this is by a chap called Arthur Credland, some of you will remember, who was the curator of the Maritime Museum for years. He was a kind of permanent feature. And he's obviously quite an elderly chap now. And although I learned the other day, he gave a talk to somebody. I thought, right, well, I'll get you next year. But he wrote this very interesting article about the whaling industry. It was a central feature of Hull in those days. And, there was whale oil before there was mineral oil.
Yeah.
And so whale oil was used in some of the first street lighting.
Right.
Which is one of the earliest street lights is outside the Wilberforce house, isn't it? You can still see the metal bracket, which was one of the original street lights. Right, yeah. We had a piece on Curiosity about it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is the amazing thing about Hull. It's absolutely jam-packed full of interesting things that have gone on, and very interesting people and events. And so it's quite a privilege, really, to be associated with this. And every year, and you'll feel the same, Dave, and indeed you also, David, it's great to be part of this heritage industry, almost as it is in this city.
There is loads to learn. We would highly recommend the brochure. Pick them up from your local library and the pod and loads of other places in the city. Danny in HU17 in Beverley says, are there any buildings that you've always wanted to include in open days but haven't been able to? Is there a holy grail of buildings?
Ooh.
Or you've done them all?
Yes. No. No, because people are generally very, very cooperative if we ask them nicely.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do, John.
Oh, absolutely. I can't think of anybody who's refused.
Right, well, that's
not necessarily refused, but is there any you think, I wish we could do there, I was saying today earlier about the boy shed on the other side of the river, which I think,
yes.
I've been in there
Have you?
a couple of years ago, and it was interesting, but dangerous for the public. So
Yes.
I think it'd be nice to take people in, but it wouldn't be practical,
Much like yourself, really interesting, but dangerous to the public.
There are a lot of tunnels underneath the Ferron Station, not Ferron Station, the interchange.
Right.
And there are some prison cells as well.
Apparently so. Yeah.
And a few years ago, when we first started doing it, Chris in particular organised it, and we could have people could go down, and they had to go down this vertical steel ladder.
Christine says it was terrifying.
But they decided that they couldn't take the risk anymore, so it's now closed.
It's the first time we've had a heckler on the podcast.
I know.
I quite like it.
Well, you would have to get them a mic. Really.
But then it's not
like
heckling, is it?
Well, it's like...
She becomes a guest then.
Yeah, turn into
you heckle away, Christine. I love it.
She can sit here and heckle to her heart's content.
Heckling's all about distance.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. There's a skill to it.
Just shouts from the balcony.
I can imagine that you've heckled in your time, really.
I've heckled and hockled.
I know I have. Burnty, I'm Burnty, by the way. This is Dave. John Netherwood is our guest. This is the CuriosityCast. It's going so well. I'll just remind you that you can send us your own question on anything, and we'll get it answered in either the next podcast or in the content you can find on the Curiosity social feeds. Check them out. There's all sorts of wonderful stuff in there. You wonder how Dave got educated about all this stuff. He knows loads. But you can find out even more on Curiosity. You can message us at www.curiosityhole.co.uk or find Curiosity Hole on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Blue Sky.
Too many.
Our guest is...
John
Netherwood, how he's heckling, the chair of the Hull Civic Society. We're talking about the Heritage Open Days, which are running Friday the 12th to Sunday the 21st of September. Do get a brochure, it's all free. Yeah, sure, John.
I should actually correct you on that last point about the chairman of the Hull Civic Society.
Oh, you're not that anymore?
I was for about 10 years.
Right.
But for the last 5 years, it's been run by John Scotney.
Right, okay.
Not that makes any difference. I was better than him, really. So.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
I'll take my notes.
That's what the word on the street is. Anyway.
Is it really?
Are there, this from Mike in HU5, the Avenues area of Hull, are there any modern buildings in the city that would make good subjects for open days of the future?
Well, we've actually got a two-page feature in the brochure about modernist Hull.
Right.
And it's quite, and I've just opened the page.
Glad you did, because I was struggling to find it. I'll find it in a minute.
Page 27.
Right.
And I think my favourite one of them is actually the Hull College. And a lot of people have said nasty things about the Hull College, what's knocking down. I don't think it does at all. It's a beautiful building. It's beautifully symmetrical. It sits nicely behind the Wilberforce Monument. I said at great length a few years back, it's time they got that monument cleaned. I said, it can't be done. It's made of millstone grit, and that's this colour.
Yeah.
So I thought it was quite...
I like the frieze on the front of the college. That's really nice.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to disagree with you. It's a right ugly...
I don't like it, but that's why I said
it's not
an
inspiring building, is it?
Well,
I know it's inspired lots of people.
You're right. You are. I know what you mean. But we can't keep building Gothic cathedrals, can we?
No,
Things
true.
have got to move on. And I think it became... it was called brutal architecture in the 60s, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And you had all these revolting blocks of flats like the Byker Wall. Probably shouldn't say that because that's a listed building now. But we've got things...
I can see you've got Kingston House on there, which is one I don't like at all. I think it's horrible.
Yeah, well, I think I'd agree with you there. But there are... the Prospect Centre, it's got some nice decoration on the front of it.
Festival House, I noticed on there, which is an interesting one. It's one of the more recent buildings in the city centre, which of course has got a time capsule buried under it, hasn't it?
So I believe, yes, yeah.
Which they built at the time. When was the Festival of Britain? 1950 something? And they put a time capsule down there
I read about that.
With radio times and all that kind of stuff in there, and drawings from school
and that's done quite a bit, isn't it? It's a kind of a tradition with a new building.
Yeah.
But you never hear of anybody opening one.
No.
So you've got to wait for 100 years till it gets knocked down and then...
Yeah, it's kind of...
grand opening.
Yeah. One of the ones I went on, it was a few years ago now, I think. Is it Birstall Solicitors? I think
Yes.
Birstall's have moved out.
Yes.
But the fascinating basement, they've got a safe down. I went... it's the toilets are down there, I believe.
Yes.
Beautiful. Everything below the ground floor's tiled. And they've got a safe in there that was made by the same people who made... Harrods or something,
saves, yes, that's right.
An incredible space. You could go in the safe and see it and everything. passing by on the street, you would never know it was there. And when you go inside, it's incredible. It's absolutely...
Well, it's like in the basement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like in the cellars. And round the walls are these high desks, sloping desks, where the clerks used to sit into the, whatever it was they entered, in the journals of the solicitors.
And all tiled, because it was entirely waterproof, so that nothing would be ruined if during when it all used to flood regularly.
They did, and it was the anti-flooding device for many companies in the city to keep their records safe. And if you look at the doors of those safes, they're about 6 inches thick, all stepped, and take your head off if you got anywhere near it. And a few years ago, somebody from Harrods got in touch with Terry Moore at Birstall's, and they said, I understand you've got some safes like ours. He said, no, au contraire, you've got some safes like ours. Anyway, the Harrods invited Terry and his soliciting chums to go to Harrods, and they treated them very well. They took them all around Harrods and compared notes about safes.
Wow, brilliant.
And is it open? Is it on the list this year?
No, it's not, because sadly Birstall's have now moved out into more modern premises, more appropriate to a modern solicitor's office.
It's empty at the minute, no?
It is, but I think we saw a sign, didn't we, that said it was under offer.
But it's a great example of the sort of things you just don't know there until you go on these open days, you know.
I thought John's making a move for the caramel wafers.
Well, I think that's... I think I deserve a caramel wafer.
Well, you'll get one at the end, John.
You can have one now.
To take away.
We've never had live snacking on the podcast. It's an episode of Fest.
Well, you were handing them out. I don't know.
Well, help yourself. Please do. Go on.
What I was going to say, more importantly, I was going to say that...
the rustling sound you can hear is John opening a Tunnocks.
These features in the front of our beautiful brochure would actually make... the subject for a talk in next year's Heritage Open Day. Here's an interesting one. Who used to say that? That's a funny story. Was it Arthur English or something? Probably before you're too young.
I don't know. Well, it's nice of you to say so.
This lady, the tea towel.
It's nice to have somebody who thinks you're young there.
I know, exactly.
That's all relative.
Come again, John.
On page 18 and 19, there's an article about Pat Albeck, and we know her as the tea towel lady. She was a lady who did modern designs of fabrics, and she was well known. And I think she's related to Kath Kidson, who's famous now for fabric designs. And this article has been written by the august Rob Robinson.
Oh, one of our contributors.
Indeed, yes, I believe so.
On
yes,
Curiosity.
And he always writes an article for the brochure every year. And the problem is...
I'll write you a piece next year about calendar buildings, John.
Oh, that'd be good, yes. That's good.
I thought you were going to do one on the art of podcasting. The Tunnocks episode.
No, you've got to be serious. And
it's not on this podcast. Sometimes it just goes.
Sorry, John, don't come in here telling us what to do. You're not in charge.
How long have you been doing it?
Not long enough. It's been a while, actually, so we're a bit out of practice. Look, part of the ethos of the programme is for people to send us questions. So let's return
to the script.
Yeah. Let's ask one from Dennis, HU9, Victoria Dock. Can the public make suggestions for buildings that'd like to be included on Heritage Open Days?
They most certainly can. And then, funnily enough, with Birstall Solicitors, the senior partner there, going back quite a few years, wrote to us and said, we'd like to be in your Heritage Open Days, and we got them in. The first year they were in, this is probably going back 8 years or so, and they had about 800 people, we're told, went round there. I went in on the Saturday morning, and Terry and his chums were there. They're all dressed up in Victorian costumes, and he was jumping about. He said, it's my job to be a solicitor. It's not my job to be a tour guide round our building, lovely though it is, and I'm fed up. But he wasn't at all. He He was happy as a pig, actually. And they really enjoyed it. And they did it for.
Well, you'll have to see whether you can get it back on the list, because it'll still be there. There's no way that's safe coming out.
No. We'd have to, whenever they do sell it, we'd have to see what they...
Even the lads in the Headon Road Hilton, which you're not going to manage to get that safe out of there, are they?
I'd like to suggest, if you do take suggestions, can I suggest we get a chance to go around Peter Levy's house?
That's a good idea.
It's good, isn't it?
And they tell me that Paul's staying there at the moment, because he's got nowhere else to live.
Is he? He can be the tour guide then. There we go.
It's not actually true. Made that better.
This has taken a very strange turn, this episode of the Curiosity.
It's like end of term, isn't it? It's like we've brought our games in.
Is there a different gas coming out of the air conditioning in this whole central library? It's been a very strange episode. We've not even got time for another question. Just
go on, nip on it. Go on.
Okay. Mary in Hornsey says, how do you manage to find fresh perspectives on buildings that feature every year in Heritage Open Days?
It's a good question, and it's one I referred to earlier. Hull is absolutely jam-packed solid with interesting histories, and you're almost in a job like this, you're almost peeling back the layers of the years of history and the people that have lived in places. And it's a great privilege to me each year to meet new people that know about Hull. And I come across this chap called Jim Greenhouse, who in fact is a professor of modern history at the University of Lincoln. And it turns out that he loves Hull. And he has recently actually staged an exhibition in Hull, in the History Centre, about modernist buildings in Hull, of which there's a feature in here. But he also is an expert on the World War II and the damage that was inflicted on Hull. And of course, everybody knows Hull as being the most bombed city in the country. But if you look around the city, there's an awful lot of it still intact that didn't get bombed. Oh. So, one wonder if that was perhaps overplayed at the time. Oh. And
so it's not the fresh perspective comes from the people visiting and the people talking about it. The building stays the same.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's different people that give a fresh perspective.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
that's a great answer.
And we shall leave it there for this episode of the Curiosity Cast. Don't forget, there is all sorts of stuff on the Curiosity website, and you can send us a message and a question at www.curiosityhull.co.uk. We're on all the socials as well. If you look for Curiosity Hull, you'll find us. Our thanks to our special guest on this episode, John Netherwood, who's been talking about the Heritage Open Days. Get the brochure and get yourself out there between Friday the 12th to Sunday the 21st of September and delve into some of the buildings with fascinating history. There is walks, there is talks, there's all sorts going on. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I'll remember it for a long time. I've enjoyed it. Live biscuit rustling on the Curiosity Cast. Our thanks to John Netherwood, and from me and Dave Lee. That's it. Ta for listening.